Angels live in my town.
So listen the fuck up.
It's crazy.
This sounds like you actually have something to say.
Oh, good for you.
What the fuck is he talking about?
You guys are doing terrific.
This is great iced tea.
I think every American should be watching this.
What's happening?
Buddy, another show.
That's right. We're back in it. Back in the mix.
Back in the mix. We got a good one tonight, buddy.
It will be entertaining.
I'm excited. We've been talking about this.
It's like 30 years in the making, the one bit.
I was going to say, we've been talking about this show for a bit, but we've been talking about what we're doing on the show today for like 30 years. We have an old friend coming on the show.
Yeah, when he gets here.
Stuntman when he gets here. Hopefully eventually. And we have another guest. We have like two guests.
We have another angel in our town later.
We have an angel in our town coming on again. Our grade 3 teacher, Stuntman, and my grade 3 teacher. When Stuntman gets here, I'm kind of pointing to his chair there. I hope
he'll do it.
Stuntman's a little unpredictable.
He'll do it.
He's a little unpredictable. He's a wildcat. He's actually Wildman Stuntman. That's his name. So we just kind of truncate it to Stuntman. But we have our grade 3 teacher on, Mrs. Anderson, and we're going to talk about this. There's a little bit of controversy about a play that we did based on the story Jack and the Beanstalk in grade 3.
Now, I've heard this story several times when we get together. It usually comes out when they start drinking.
Right.
I hear the original story.
It hasn't come up a ton.
Enough for me to know about. I know we got some emails.
We did.
Or
you
not
check
emails,
the emails.
messages.
I don't see the emails.
Well, it's not the emails. I got messages on Facebook.
I don't see the emails.
No one's actually emailed us yet.
Oh, they're on Facebook messages?
Yeah, Facebook messages. That seems to be the hotspot for people.
Yeah.
We got one again from our friend. And I'm going to read it and see.
Which one? Stacy? Oh,
but it's nice. We got two nice ones, and you'll know which one you'll get. Okay, I'll just get into it. We got three. We got three from them.
All right. I'm curious to see how Stacy misinterpreted our show this week.
Well, let's see. Don't hate yet till you hear it.
All right, whatever.
Hey, ALIMT, Angels That Live in My Town.
Trunk. Yeah, I like the abbreviation.
Me too. We said that last week. We did like that. Yep. I really like last week's show. There you go. Stacy right off the hop.
Starting positive. Last week started positive too.
I don't recall, but sure. If you remember it.
It started positive, and then she went, you insult Chinese people.
Yeah.
You hate China.
We didn't do that. Anyways. Okay, so then she goes on to say, I love the Angels in the Town part with Sean the Butcher.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
I liked it too.
We love doing that. That was one of my favorite parts.
You know what? He was our first angel in our town. That's a pretty...
Yeah, he was a nice
kind
guy.
of a big deal.
Inaugural.
Yeah, he's on
I might have to have him
inaugural.
on again in a year from now. See what's up.
Buddy. Yeah, I want to go over to his house for a barbecue. Okay, keep going with the
So part with Sean the Butcher. I also loved.
He loved it. He said 3 loves.
Thrice.
Not once, not twice, but thrice.
That you read my message from last week. Keep up the good work, Stacy.
Aw, Stacy.
Now, I'll give you...
That's nice of you.
Thank you, Stacy.
Stacy, that's nice.
Thank you. So now, do you want to hear the good or the bad?
I'm going to hear the bad.
Okay, well, we only have 3, so we're going to go right to
the bad one now.
Okay.
I got to check my ego.
I don't even know if I can read this without laughing.
Oh, boy.
Hey, Angels. He just calls us Angels.
Okay.
This one's for Mike with the blue hair. I'm assuming that means me since my mohawk is dyed blue.
You definitely have blue hair, yeah.
Okay. Get a haircut, pal, and grow up.
What?
Oh, wait, buddy.
I like your haircut.
And the other Mike with the long hair. Get a haircut too, pal, and get bent.
Asshole.
Doug from Stevensville.
Fuck you, Doug. Anyway,
I kind of like it.
They told you to grow up.
I don't give a shit. He told you to get bent. Who uses that term anymore?
I was like, that's an insult from like the 90s.
School.
This guy's pulling out insults from the 90s.
Doug. I like
Was
Doug.
he Bart Simpson?
Eat my shorts.
All right, I'll eat your short.
Doug, I'll take any feedback from anybody. Send it in, brother.
Yeah, Doug from Stevensville.
I love that he put that. He put Stevensville in quotations too. So is that like a fake joke?
I don't know.
Doug, if that's fake, like you don't live in Stevensville, let us know.
You know what? Just for that, I'm going to put my hair down for the rest of the show now.
All right.
I'm actually thinking about cutting it. I was thinking about cutting, but now that Doug said that, I want to just be like defiant, say fuck you, Doug, because if I do cut my hair, it's not because of you, Doug. Just so you know,
Fucking
Doug from Stevensville.
I think we might build a rapport with Doug in Stevensville.
Fucking Doug from Stevensville. Listen, I'm just, you know what? It's part of what I'm feeling right now is like this, like, I'm angry. I'm like, kind of like, not angry, but I'm upset with society. And I'm thinking about just Travis Bickling my hair.
Travis Bickle. Oh, the taxi driver, right? Is he the
Like
taxi
you.
driver? Yeah. Mine used to be a lot thinner and shorter.
But that's what that was. That Bickle
Yeah.
was making a statement against like his isolation.
I used to get, when I was at work,
Taxi Driver's a great movie
people
for
used
people.
to call me De Niro when I first cut the hair. Or first I got Iceman from UFC a lot.
Chuck Liddell.
And then it turned into Easy Taxi Driver, and then it went to De Niro.
Oh, because you got the full on mohawk.
Well, I had it shorter before, and now I've let it go long, and now I've dyed it. during
Every
the
muscle
pandemic.
has to be tight.
50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups. Okay.
That's a good movie. Actually, it's really relevant for what's going on right now in terms of. Well, it was definitely more relevant during the quarantine, but even in society today, everyone is very protective of themselves, and kind of isolating from the rest of the world. And it's that's what that whole movie's about. Is isolation.
when it's raining, I love when it rains. It cleans out the filth.
Sometimes I go out and I smell it. I get headaches. It's so bad, you know?
He was just so disgusted.
All right, we got
But
one
it's funny. New York is having some problems right now.
with what?
People don't want to go back to the city. Like even though they've
'cause
opened
they're
up and
out,
stuff,
They've moved out to the city during
they're
the
out in,
pandemic,
like,
and they're enjoying themselves.
they're out in like fucking the Hamptons or their Connecticut home.
Oh,
or,
it's so nice though, country or
I know.
what
I
they would
don't
consider
mind.
it. It's nice.
I wouldn't. I get it.
I used to think
But
I would like the
the
city
city's dying.
when I was younger. I think I would have been more tolerable in the city. Now I don't think I could do it.
No, I mean, even the older I get, the more I'm thinking about just getting out of the city.
I mean,
I'm feeling
people
it.
that raise kids in the city, good for them. I don't know how they do it. I'd be worried about everything.
There's a
like
lot.
fucking human trafficking and shit. I'm sure that happens here
You're worried
too.
about human traffic? I do. That's like the least of my concerns when I'm in the city. That's like I'm
no,
not ever
buddy,
thinking about human trafficking.
No one's trafficking you. Sorry, no offense.
No, why? Because I'm strong and big,
Yeah.
and like they can't get a hold of me. They can't put me in a van and pit me out.
With chloroform, they
Do
could.
you think they could? Like,
Yeah, if they really wanted to get you, they get you.
yeah.
Yeah.
People would miss me though. Like my mom would be like, "Where's Mikey?" They're like, "Oh yeah, they captured him into human trafficking."
And everyone would be like, what?
What? We should do something about that, maybe.
Maybe that's why you should cut your hair. Doug's right.
That's right. Yeah, it's true. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
be
we got the next
thinking
one.
if they fetch a high price for me on the street, I bet.
That ass. The next one's nice.
Oh, it's a nice
Because
one.
I've pre-read these before.
I like it when it's nice.
Okay, this one's a little bit nicer. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I liked Doug's.
I got a
I
fragile
actually
ego.
preferred the hate one.
You prefer the hate ones, eh?
I do. It makes
Keep
me
you
laugh.
in check.
Quote,
Yeah.
Hey guys, keep up the good work. The topics and convo are great. The glory holes and the girls at the LCBO. Ha 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 ha.
That's a
what
lot of
he-
ha's.
He did put a lot of ha's there. Especially like the angel in my town. Can't wait to go to Farmgate. Frank.
Frankie. Yeah, check
Frankie,
out
my
Farmgate.
boy.
I can't wait to go to Farmgate.
Frankie sounds like a local name. There's a lot of wops in this area.
I know a lot of local Franks.
So yeah, maybe it's a Frank we know. He didn't put his last name. He didn't put from Fort Erie, Stevensville, Niagara Falls like Doug did. But
well, thank you, Stacy,
Frank
Doug,
and Doug.
and Frank and Doug from Stevensville.
I appreciate you as well, Doug. Even though you told me
Yeah,
to grow
thanks for
up.
listening to the show. Keep listening.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Doug
Okay.
from Stevensville. Okay, that's fine. That's your Doug from Stevensville.
Yeah. If you ever,
He's like,
maybe he'll call in one
if
day.
he's a regular, we just know him as Doug from Stevensville. All right. Well,
All right.
so
Well, what do we got on the rundown next?
the alien story.
The alien story.
The
This
UFOs.
is interesting. Yeah, you like this one.
Well, I think it's bonkers. I mean, New York Times wrote an article recently that the Pentagon has admitted
Pull out my notes.
to recovering vehicles that were not of this world.
And
The
they're,
Pentagon
and they're gonna
and the New York Times.
Yeah, and they're gonna give us the information now. They're gonna make it public. They said
They're going
right?
to make the information public, which is, there's been this thing, Disclosure Project, for a long time, where they've had all these cases. They've had generals, they've had Navy pilots, they've had astronauts go on record and testifying to what they've experienced, what they saw in the sky or in space or in whatever.
Oh, up in the clouds.
Ooh, it's a plane. No, it's not a plane. It's a fucking UFO. We don't know what they are. They call them UAPs now. Unidentified
changed it,
aerial
yeah.
phenomenon.
Really
I think
into
that's
UFOs.
it's been
Like,
just so part of our culture.
What was wrong with that?
Well, they say that the whole UFO thing, like the way that they, like movies like Mars Attacks, or like something
like that.
That's I love that movie.
Not very good at that though.
I like that movie. I like that Jack Nicholson's
It's
the
such
president.
a bad movie that it's enjoyable.
It's a B movie, but that's what it's supposed to be. That's like an Ed Wood movie.
I think they tried to make it a B movie. There's name actors in that.
Oh, I know. No, that's the style. I mean, like
Okay.
he made it in
I
the style of an
misunderstood you. I
Ed
misunderstood
Wood
you. My bad.
movie. Well, he made that movie. The Burton's always really stylized, right? So like I think he made that movie right after Ed Wood. If I'm not mistaken, that was 1996. So
I prefer Ed Wood.
Ed Wood's amazing. Ed Wood's a more serious film, but it's hilarious. But anyways,
Back to the article.
they say that like the UFO, the phenomena, the folklore, like the goofy people dressing up and like making it all goofy, was a way to make people was a way to make people like throw them off the scent.
Sorry.
It was to throw them off the scent to like make it goofy, so that people didn't believe in UFOs.
That wouldn't surprise me, man.
But here's what I'm saying: like they spent all this time. They've got shit from like the 50s or fucking earlier, I think.
Oh yeah, well probably before.
Okay. Guy Bob Lazar, who said he was working on UFOs, they erased his identity, said that they found one of the UFOs he was working on in an archaeological dig. That means it could have been like ancient.
That's exactly what it means.
That's like so these whatever these are, might have been visiting the planet for a really long time, which raises so many questions.
Well, that now you're getting into like what is it, like conspiracy theory almost type shit.
Okay, but we're talking about what we do know. Let's get into that.
What
right?
they're gonna give us.
What they're gonna let us know. So, what I'm bugging out about is that they've spent all this time and all this energy and money to cover this up and like hide it from the public. Then they tell the public. And no one gives a shit. Like, literally nobody's talking about it.
Well, it's COVID.
I mean,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
literally one of the biggest discoveries or one of the biggest existential questions, like, where we came. It just brings up so much
Do you
stuff.
think most people that probably even read that were like, well, maybe it's bullshit, fake news, as
I
Trump
mean, maybe,
would say?
maybe that's why the media has become so fake, is because now they can just report real news and people just think it's fake. And now it's like, we don't have to worry about what's in the media.
Do you think
we don't have to worry about what's in the media anymore?
Do you think most people believe in aliens or don't?
If I think most people believe in aliens, how would I
If they
know?
took a poll, what would be your guess?
I would think most people would think that there's got to be something out there. The universe is so vast now that we know how big the universe is and how big, how many. They've been able to, with Doppler effect technology.
Doppler effect.
No, seriously, they can look at stars and planetary systems that are galaxies away and find out how big the planet is and how far away from its star is, to see if it's a Goldilocks planet, to see if it's a planet that could sustain life. And they've already said, I think there's like 30,000 just in our galaxy. There's like 30,000 Goldilocks planets that could support life just in our galaxy. And there's like, we're in a universe of like billions of galaxies.
Makes you feel small.
Fuck yeah. So to think that we're
Almost
the only
like a
ones,
piece of shit.
probably not. But is there intelligent life that obviously it's very far away, wherever it is, it's light years away. So yeah, it's just bugging me out that no one cares. No one cares that they found the Pentagon and the New York Times is reporting we found vehicles that didn't come from Earth. So that means that there's aliens and that they're visiting the planet. Or it could mean that they found some technology, they don't know where it came from. They just don't know where it is. So it could be an ancient civilization that lives underwater. We don't know.
Like the Gunga.
Yeah. Yeah. There could be Gungas.
They could be. Gungas. Then we get some Jar Jars running around.
Everyone, there's like, people report of like Bigfoot and Sasquatch and what's it, the Loch Ness Monster. Maybe that shit's real.
The Gungas are proud people, bro.
And maybe they live deep in the ocean and they fly around in saucers when they want to go up on land. I don't know. It's interesting. But isn't it crazy? Doesn't that boggle your mind?
A bit, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know if I do or don't believe. Maybe I don't.
Well,
It's great. It's just so funny.
If they tell you and they show you a UFO and they say we don't know where it came from, we don't know how
I
it
think
works.
most people would believe if they see.
If they saw it.
See.
Okay, so why don't you go Google Mars monolith?
Just Google it.
There's a monolith on one of Mars's moons. Like, you ever seen the movie 2001: Space Odyssey?
I have.
You remember that black monolith? It just
Yeah.
showed up in the movie. Remember,
Yes.
what the fuck's with the monolith?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's based on this discovery. This Mars monolith there's a monolith on one of Mars's moons. So, Phobos, the monolith, is a large rock on the surface of Mars's moon, Phobos. It is a boulder about 85 meters to 279 feet across and 300 feet tall. It's a geological feature consisting of a single massive piece of rock.
It's a big rock.
And if you look at it,
I gotta really turn around. I gotta retch around.
you're gonna retch. Yeah, it's just bizarre that it's the shape of it and stuff. It's like they say it's really weird that it's there.
It just like appears. That's what you're saying?
But like you look around the surface of that moon, there's nothing else like it. There's just this one big giant monolith, 300 fucking meters, like 300 feet high. That's 300 feet tall.
So who put it there?
Who knows?
That's what you're telling me.
I mean, it doesn't seem natural.
Wasn't the Gungas?
That could have been.
They're underwater, bro.
Yeah, but they fly in the ships outside the water.
I don't know. Do they?
That's what their UAPs are.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't know. Anyways, it's pretty interesting. I think it's fascinating. I think it's going to raise a whole bunch of questions. I think it's also, what I think it is I think they have this technology, and they, first of all, they don't fully understand it because it's so far ahead of us. And it has no commercial application. It's like if they released it to the public and said, hey, yeah, look at this technology.
We wouldn't know what to do with it.
We wouldn't know what to do with it. We'd probably destroy ourselves. It's like, I think it's like the military's holding it as like, we've got this like super secret, like it's like a beat all end all technology. If they're in a situation where we're fucked, they just they can pull this technology and
What's
utilize
the technology going to be to do if we're fucked? Fucked how?
Maybe there's an asteroid coming to the planet.
Oh, and you're saying they could blow it up?
Blow
They
it
have, like,
up.
a powerful technology.
Maybe there's nuclear war, and then there's nukes on their way to the U.S. and we need to take them out somehow. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying.
You think? Well, that brings me to a funny point here, though. Like you're
What's your
saying
funny
the U.S.
Yeah.
I got an article from the Star.
This is interesting.
That says Canada is ahead.
This is crazy to me. So now that the U.S. is coming out with stuff,
Canada's
why wouldn't
come
other
back.
countries? But why wouldn't other countries have this stuff if the U.S. hasn't?
Why
right?
wouldn't we communicate together against something that's going to attack our planet? Is my next.
It's
thing.
true.
If they're attacking,
It's true. And like China has recovered stuff too, and they don't talk about it.
I think they all should come together. In my opinion.
I mean, I think that they're thinking once one of them figures out the technology, they'll rule the world.
One ring to rule them all.
Yeah.
Okay, so this article here from the Star, Toronto
Yeah.
Star, same difference. It says basically the article you're talking about, and then it says, but America, it turns out, could learn a thing or two from Canada when it comes to transparency about flying saucers. Okay?
Right.
So they're saying we're ahead, basically.
In transparency.
Yeah. So
Because
it
we've
says
been open for a long time.
we got Chris, I'm not sure if I'm saying this name, Ruthowski.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dude from Winnipeg. He lives in Winnipeg. He's
They get a lot of sightings out west.
well. It says it makes for an exciting time for UFO fans. This is what Chris says. Chris is an enthusiast author of 10 books about how the phenomenon has played out in Canada over the years. He quotes, Canada is actually ahead of the curve. He goes on to say in this article that last year, he donated his personal collection of UFO reports, including 10,000 Canadian government documents and 20,000 more from various agencies, to the University of Manitoba. Nice guy if he's helping out, right? But he's into it. So he said he obtained some of these documents through access to information requests, but others he simply collected from Transport Canada reports available online, which I
So-
find interesting.
That's really interesting. So like this all stuff has been open in the public, and no one in Canada's just maybe giving a shit. Like
Okay,
no
well-
one just cares.
Well, here we go. So this says the Canadian government
Yeah.
hosts a publicly searchable archive of government records about UFOs dating back to the 1950s. So it's just open to the public online. Like me and you can look it up.
Right.
It says this is ranging from Defense Department memos about flying saucers to RCMP reports by officers who are investigating UFO sightings across the country. This is all available on the Library Archive Canada website. So me and you can go get all the information that the government knows.
They know. But
Well,
but
for
I
the
don't
most
think
part.
that's all they know.
Well, that's what this article goes on to say. So Chris Ruthowski said, people in Canada have been way ahead of the United States. This is all quote. In the sense that we've had a body of evidence and a body of documentation showing official interest in UFOs. Ruthowski also says Canadian authorities have historically been more transparent than the U.S. counterparts, and that the Canadians saw UFOs more as scientific curiosity rather than military threat.
Well, I mean, obviously this guy hasn't seen Mars attacks. I mean, I get why the U.S. would be scared about it.
But like my thing is like if everyone should be sharing information, like this is if they were going to say there's UFOs or aliens or whatever the fuck and they want to attack, shouldn't we all be prepared? It's not like they're going to just attack one nation. They're going to attack the human race, I would think. No.
Well, they would kill us all. I mean, I just think it would be
we don't
game
know that.
over.
Maybe they're dumber than us. Why do we always assume they're smarter than us?
Well, because if they have the technology to travel here, okay, then they would definitely be smarter.
Touche, my man. Touche. So this article goes on. While the Canadian government probably hasn't released everything it knows about UFOs, he said there is sometimes good reason to classify information from military reasons or individual privacy concerns. It isn't necessarily a sign of insidious cover-up, in his view. They're not hiding information about the little green guy, he said, from the Canadian government.
I don't know about that. I'm thinking if the U.S. has recovered vehicles that they've been keeping out of sight. So this is actually Pentagon footage right here. This is real footage of a UFO. The Pentagon has released this footage.
You can't see shit of that, bro. It looks blurry. Not from your clip here on the screen. I'm just saying that don't look like shit.
Well, you got to see it. They track this thing on radar. This thing's moving.
Well,
like,
that's booking.
It's really going really, really fast right over the water. It came out of the water. These are actual, like the military said, that they don't know what these are. They maneuvered and operated in ways that our vehicles can't do. These have different propulsion systems.
Okay. That's interesting.
It is pretty interesting.
And no one's talking about it.
No one's talking about it. But my point is that's why it is a threat to our national security, because we don't have the technology to compete with these guys. If they wanted to destroy us, they would.
Yeah, maybe they're just not interested in us.
But why are they visiting us? I mean,
maybe they're just driving by.
What if they created us?
Now you're getting out there, buddy.
What if that's why they want to look at us? Because they created,
Maybe. Like we're a Sims game?
Kind of.
It is an interesting article. We could share this link on our thing so people could check it out so we know what we're talking about too, right?
We can share links.
Because apparently no one's reading it. No one's talking about it.
No one's talking about it. I don't know. Do you know people talking about it? I mean,
I only started talking about it when you sent it to me and you're like, this is interesting. And then when I started looking into it, I found the Canadian aspect of it, which I thought was interesting that they're saying we're ahead of them.
What we're talking about is like the top secret shit that's compartmentalized that the prime minister might not even know about. They're saying the president of the United States might not know about this smoking gun technology. They might know. He might know that they have smoking gun technology, but it's all compartmentalized. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is. These are all like they talk about these deep state groups and organizations that are funded by the military or funded by the tax dollars, but they're dark programs, so they don't know what they're spending it on. And they're saying that there's like hundreds of millions of dollars a year spent on things that they don't know what they're spending it on. It's like they're black ops, they don't know what that money's going to. But that's probably where it's going to. It's developing or researching some of these maybe recovered technologies.
Maybe not.
Well, apparently the Pentagon's saying that they are.
Maybe we'll catch up on
part of that article too is that they have a task force that's there to investigate sightings. There's this thing called Skinwalker Ranch where apparently there's like all these cow mutilations. It's like
mutilations.
Pretty, got a lot of folklore and stuff about it. But they sent the military there, and they funded a research project with $30 million. So they wouldn't send $30 million in a research team to go investigate unless if they thought it was all horseshit. They must know that there's stuff out there, and when they hear these reports, they're like, oh fuck, maybe it's that thing we know about. You know what I mean? And they go investigate it.
Which thing are you talking about? That thing?
That thing.
No, the other thing.
The thing.
I'm over here now.
I'm over here now. We're back.
Stuntman! Stuntman. We got Stuntman on the show, everybody.
Special guest.
Say hi to the...
me.
Yeah, that's the Stuntman. Thanks for coming on the show, Stuntman. I know
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, we sampled it earlier that we were going to talk about something that's been going on for about
Because the
a
other
30-year-old gripe.
The other night we was
Yeah,
like,
let's
he
get
was
to the
like-
point. Why am I here?
And sorry, we brought Stuntman on the show for a reason. We have a guest coming on later on Angels Live in My Town, our grade 3 teacher, Stuntman, Mrs. Anderson.
Mrs. Anderson.
And I didn't know this, but
She was
last
a
night
nice
you brought
lady.
this up.
Really nice lady.
You took issue with a couple years ago when I first saw you. I hadn't seen you in a while, and I had mentioned to you that Mrs. Anderson had given me some insight onto the Jack and the Beanstalk play that we performed when we were in the 3rd grade, where you played the giant and I played a mailman. Mrs. Anderson, she's a very sweet lady, tried to be fair to everyone, gave everyone like a fair shot at that part by putting everyone's name in a hat. For whatever reason, Sean just automatically got the giant part, which, I mean, he was good in
So I
it.
said,
Why don't
before he
you-
responds, I'm going to tell what I've heard over the years.
Yeah.
So what I've heard over a couple times, usually drinking and doing whatever.
Well,
we
hold
do.
on a second. Let me interrupt again because I like to do that. This is a 5-year gap. Previous to that, we were in grade 3. So
like 30
Grade
years.
3. We were in grade 3.
Yeah.
Big lapse of time. We're now turning 32. 5 years later from that, still going on.
Okay.
Continue.
Yes. Okay.
I
So
see.
this is where the gripe comes in. So I've heard them argue. This was before I even heard of the story at a friend's house they were at. So they were arguing one night about how Mike was crying like a little bitch, I think Sean said, about getting a part in a play. And this is the play we're talking about, Jack and the Beanstalk in grade
So
3.
it's grade 3. I was 7 years old.
Whatever. So he said he was crying like a little bitch, and Mike says Sean just got casted the part, which I think everyone agrees on. Mike claims, from what I understand, is that he should have got the part because of his star power he had. Like, he had
No,
so
no,
much
no.
charisma. Hang on. Let me tell my story. Then you can have your part.
I didn't have any star power because I was a kid.
But you thought Miss Anderson knew you had some
She
kind of
did.
charisma.
She acknowledged that
she
I was a star. I was a
created
star in the making.
Created a part for him that's not even in Jack and the
It's
Beanstalk.
not even in the well. First of all, let's get to the Jack and the Beanstalk play. Only has a few parts.
Yeah,
it's
so
not
there
the
should only
best
be a
play
few
to
people.
pick for a class play.
I
It's
believe
really
there
not.
was someone in there that was a cow.
Right. Someone played the Beanstalk. I think. Didn't
they had-
Audra?
No,
did-
no, there
as
was- there
far
was
as
no-
I know, they had to
Was there?
create
We
a
actually
part.
used a screen, and the strobe light. I think
You
were
just
in charge
you
of the
just
strobe light.
you
too,
just
actually.
watched the you just watched
Yeah, he
the play
has the
I
video,
just
which is
watched
great.
it. Although I
Whammy.
did already know it off by heart.
because you starred. You had a lead.
He was
part.
the lead role, and Mike was upset that he didn't get
stole-
the lead role. That's what Sean's saying, and that she
Well,
created a part because
can I
he whined like a
first of
bitch.
all, I
Let
got
me
up-
just say something here
I got
for
upset.
a second
I got
here.
upset.
Say something.
I actually didn't call him a crybaby until he showed up at the door in Cody's apartment in Toronto when this all started 5 years ago.
I think it
Oh,
was 4 we
you mean
established, but
4?
5. You get to 4
Okay.
or 5.
4 or
Okay,
5.
Cody
And
got his apartment.
that's because Mrs. Anderson had dinner at my mom's house.
There,
and
all right,
we
we're getting
talked
to the
about it.
beginning of the story.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Which is weird that this would even come up like 30 years later.
So I answered the door, and Anun's. I'm going to paraphrase.
Okay.
So, hey, Anuns, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a few years. Guess who I had dinner with last night? Dun, dun, dun. I was like, okay, great, Anuns. How did dinner go? Well, let me tell you. Remember Jack and the Beanstalk in grade 3? Yeah, I do remember
Was
Jack.
this just out of the blue? This is the first initial argument.
I answered
Yeah.
the door.
Answer the door.
I
I remember
answered
that.
the
Oh, so you remember?
door.
You concur that?
I remember this. yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
I said hello. Those were the
I'm
first
sorry I
words.
didn't
Okay.
greet you better.
All right, let me speed
Okay.
this up here. So he says he has dinner with Miss Anderson. So it's like, okay, great. How did that go? Well, she told me the play was rigged and you didn't really deserve the part, but you got it anyways.
A play that was like 30 years earlier, correct?
Yes.
Now, I would contest that. I don't know why. Maybe she remembered it different. We're gonna have her on the show later.
Yes, we are.
We are, and I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah.
excited. I'm very excited. So let me finish.
because I thought Sean did deserve the part. I just didn't think like we all had to put in. Sorry. Okay, Sean, you finish. Whatever.
No.
both
That
of
was
them going
that was
over each
sound
other.
effects. That was me providing sound effects.
Like his mind blown.
You can do sound effects. I thought Sean deserved the part. I just disliked the fact that I wanted to be the lead Jack, Okay, and Jack ended up being cast.
Jack off. Pissed that I was the star. Okay, there it is.
Okay, no, I'm just saying he wasn't right for the part, and we all put our names in a hat to get that part. He got it, whatever. Okay.
And Sean was just
But
given
Sean
the part
was just
because he was
given
the
the
giant.
part to the giant.
And your gripe was that you had
I could have played the giant.
you wanted one of these
could've.
roles.
You could have.
You wanted one of these roles, and that was your
But
gripe.
I wanted a
you
lead
could
role.
not project
Exactly.
your voice the way I did. And
He did project very well.
Yeah, there it
he
is.
does project very well.
And you cried like a bitch, so she made you a part with
I don't-
Sean's
I
part.
don't
We never
remember
got to.
I don't remember crying.
I
We'll get her to
I
clear that
even
up.
remember him taking the buns off of his McDonald's to wipe up the tears.
That's not true.
I don't know.
No, that's an over exaggeration.
Who would wipe their tears with buns?
Yeah, they would have just ate it.
I don't know. I'd like to give that another Matt Groening quote, but it definitely wasn't.
That's the other thing that Mike brought up, that you said that I would get McDonald's all the time. Like you had a problem with my mom bringing me lunch at school.
I don't have a problem with it at all.
Why
was
did you
just
bring that
saying-
up?
It was just you were the only person that ever had McDonald's in school. Everyone else had sandwiches.
Once
Interesting.
I
again,
just thought it was funny.
it fed into the idea that I
That
was
you're a
very
star.
special. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
very special.
And he's saying bullshit. You cried.
I might have
get the
cried.
part.
I might have.
And Miss Anderson's going to clear up that you're saying you didn't cry.
I don't remember. I don't remember if I did or not.
Hold
I'm
on
not
a
saying
second.
I did or didn't.
This
I might have.
whole crying thing. Let me clear it up.
I was 7 years old. I
I
mean-
do not know for sure if he did or did not cry.
Not physically.
I just
But
was
that's the
getting
big
chirped
thing.
for 4 years
That
on
you
what
keep
was going
repeating, that I
on. So I
cried
just
like-
said. So I just said, oh, he was probably crying like a baby, and they created the role for
You
him.
didn't say baby.
Like a bitch.
Yeah,
No, well,
that's what you said.
that's the central
Fine.
thing. So I had
Call
issue
him
with
a fucking
Maskell
bitch.
just getting the part, but I think that Maskell was great in the part. But
Still
he's-
am great
he's-
at the part.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna
we reenact it later?
We're gonna
We
show,
can.
we'll show clips.
We
of it
got a
maybe.
garage door. Door? That could be the beat stop.
And we'll see this great performance. But what I'm saying is that the reason she made a role for me was because she's like, we can't not put this kid in the play. He's got to do something, and they created a part for me. She created a part. It wasn't.
And your claim
I'm
is
the
because
mailman.
you deserved a part. That's why you're saying.
Because
2 years
she-
later,
she saw a little star in me.
Our grade 5 teacher.
Miss Bomberry.
Mrs. Bomberry did a play as well, and she learned from Mrs. Anderson's mistake and just gave him the lead role right off the bat.
That's true. Mrs. Bomberry saw my star potential even more so.
Or
At
learned
this
from
point,
Mrs.
at
Anderson's
this point, my
mistake.
skills had been honed a little more with parts in Jack and the Beanstalk, and so Miss Bomberry put me in like 2 or 3 things where I was like the MC for a thing. I was the lead in the play. I'm sorry.
It's 30 years later, you're having dinner with your grade 3 teacher, and she's just like, hey, Mike, you had such star potential. I created a role from you. It just came out of the blue.
and Sean sucked.
No.
Well, she didn't say that. But
She didn't say Sean sucked.
But like, how did the conversation come up at this dinner? Is what I want to know.
You know what? Let's ask her when we get her on the show later.
We're gonna ask her a conversation that happened 5 years ago or 4 years ago. How it came up
this whole
at dinner.
play happened 30 years ago, but she remembers it really well.
Okay, that's interesting.
You
to
know?
me. Very,
Come over
very
here
interesting to me.
Come over here now.
It's very
Okay.
interesting. To me.
So, but let's get into before we talk to Mrs. Anderson. Let's get into. We got a little game for Stuntman to play.
You want to play the game?
This is fun. This is
I'm
fun.
not agreeing to anything.
There's no rules. The rules of this game, though.
Oh,
There's
I just got that. That went right over my mohawk.
it did.
It really did. This is great.
So the game is this, okay? You get 3 strikes. If you get 3 wrong, you're out. Okay? But if you
I
get
don't like baseball.
it's kind of like baseball.
No, I said I don't like baseball.
He doesn't like the rules.
It's not baseball. It's just
not.
you can only, if you get 3 wrong, you lose the game.
So why can't it be more like bowling?
Okay. You just gotta keep
What
going.
the fuck? How am I supposed to answer that? I don't even know
good
what to
question.
say.
Do you get 3 strikes in bowling? No.
No, you get to bowl
You get as many strikes
2.
as you want.
2 balls. That's true. You get as many
Many
strikes
strikes
as you want.
You can only get 3 wrong, okay?
Only
That's it.
3 wrong.
3 wrong.
But I'm
and
never wrong,
We're gonna
so
play you
they'll
a
all be
clip.
right.
We're gonna play you a 10-second clip from a movie, and you have to guess whether it's a porno or it's a real movie.
Okay. You get it?
Got it.
Got it. But
Okay.
wait. We should tell him his prize is.
Oh yes, if you win the game, you're gonna get our first line of merch. Okay, Sean,
That's where the angels live.
here's the first one, okay?
I'm ready.
Isabella, take Manuel to my cabin below deck. We have to catch Victor before he sets sail.
He will be sailing south from the west side of the island.
And we'll cut him off.
Porno or real film, Jack?
I'm gonna go with a real film.
Hot fuck action to the max, Jack.
Sorry, that was a porno.
That was a porno, bro. Porno.
It's Pirates.
Triple X, I believe.
Triple X, yes. Sorry, you got that one wrong,
Who
Sean.
is casting it?
Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot.
You got that one wrong. So that's one down. You got one wrong. You got two more strikes, okay?
He needs another T-shirt to cut sleeves off of.
Here's the next one, okay?
I'm a whore, Jack. You've made me into a whore.
Honey, you don't think this is destroying me? I don't know what to do.
You brought me to Las Vegas and you turned me into a whore, Jack.
Is that a real film, Jack?
Real film.
It's a real film, Jack.
Oh, he's
He's got one.
Stuntman.
1 for 1. All right.
No,
Here's
he's 1 for 2.
He's 1 for 2. Okay. Here's the next one. Ready?
Jerking off
Boogie
these
Nights.
jerks under a table in the only classy bar in town was no fucking joyride, trust me. But it sure beat the hell out of waiting tables.
Real film, Jack, or a porno?
Real film.
It's a real film, Jack.
Oh, shit, God, what film is that?
That's a movie called Whore. That's a real movie.
That's a real film.
That's a
Jack.
real film. Yes, it is.
I know. That's why I said that.
Yeah, he's got two.
Okay.
He's two
All
and
right.
one
Next
now.
one. Next
He's only got
one.
one strike. He's got 2 right.
He's got 2 right.
Wait, if he gets 3 right, is the game over? Or
He's got to
them all?
He's got to get 4 right.
He's got to get 4 right, so he skewed it a bit. Okay.
So we got 6. We got 6 questions for you here. 6 questions. So you get 3 wrong.
He's got 2 right, 1 wrong.
You got 2 right, 1 wrong. Next one's coming up.
I'm ready.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Is that a real film, Jack, or
A real film?
porn?
Well, there isn't any words or anything to work with there, so I'm going to stick with real film based on the trick question.
You're reversing it on us.
No, I just feel like you're trying to trick me without
that's what I'm
having
saying.
any script or anything.
Oh.
Let's see.
It's a real film, Jack.
Oh, that's a real film.
That's a real
2 and 2.
That's from Porky's.
Wait, is that 3 and 2 now?
He's
you
got.
said it was a real film?
I said it was a real
Oh fuck, he's 3 and 1.
He's 3 and 1 or 2 and 1.
He's got
3 and 1.
3 right,
He's got 3 right.
3 right and
1 wrong.
That's true. Okay. So the next one, if he gets the next one right, I guess he's
That's
won.
a game.
Let's see, won. All right, here we go.
Du-du-du.
This is. I'm gonna pick the tougher one of the 2. Okay. Here you go.
I gave you enough poison to kill a horse.
I didn't take it.
Yeah, yes, you did. You drank it right in front of me.
Ellen heard you tell Samantha where the pills were hidden.
Is that a real film, or is that a porno?
I'm going to go with real film.
Hot fuck action to the max, Jack.
Oh, it's 2 wrong.
Strike 2. So this last one's a deal breaker.
That's a porno. That one is "Hate to See You Go," starring Randy Spears. The great Randy
I
Spears.
do like Randy Spears. He's
a
top 10.
great actor.
He's a top 10 male actor.
That was his performance right there. You just heard. All right.
Hot fuck action to the max. That drop is so good.
Okay, so here's the last one, Sean. So you got 2 strikes. If you got to get this one right.
Well, to cut the sleeves off the T-shirt, yeah.
If you want the T, you got to get this one right. Okay, last one.
I'm so stressed.
My patient wants the opposite. What do you mean? Muffin, how do you feel about euthanasia?
Well, I've never been to Asia, but I think that, the youth
already
in
recognize
America is
this.
probably the same.
What are you doing? He's playing the game.
Okay, I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I'm over here.
Okay, what is it? Is it a real film or is it a porno?
That is a porno.
I already did.
Hot fuck action to the max, Jack.
Hey, he wins. All right. He got it.
You gotta give him the grab bag. After
What I
with that
didn't
T.
get is China virus.
I am the smartest man alive!
All right. He gets it. All right, that's great. So you get the T.
He gets the T.
Awesome. Can I see it?
I think it's. I think we can
Almost
get.
call Miss Anderson. Let's go back to our rope that all in. So the gripe is, Mike got a role because of his star power, or she saw potential in him. Yeah. Sean says he only got the role because he cried like a bitch. And she created a role for him. So we're gonna ask Miss Anderson if
don't believe
Mike.
that was exactly what happened, but we'll go with that.
Well,
something
along those lines. Something similar to that, right?
Yes. And are you literally gonna ask Miss Anderson, "Hey, did I cry like a little bitch?"
Yeah, Miss Anderson, do you remember me crying like a little bitch?
I cannot wait to hear her answer. So give a little backstory on Miss Anderson. So she's a grade 3 teacher.
She's probably one of my favorite teachers in elementary school. Maybe the best teacher I've ever had.
It's funny
was
you
grade
said
3.
that because Sean said she was an excellent teacher as well. It's nice to speak to you.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson.
Likewise, thank you.
Hello, Mrs. Anderson. How are you?
Hi, Sean. Many, many years since I've heard your voice.
It has been a long time.
Yeah, it has. Where are you living now?
I'm all over right now. Right now, I'm in northern Alberta. I'm doing a new apprenticeship for heavy-duty mechanics.
Oh, good for you. Proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Thank you.
He's made something of himself, Mrs. Anderson, since
It must have been that moment you played the giant.
That's what we were going to get into. That's hilarious.
I think that did give you a lot of confidence.
That's what jettisoned you to fame and fortune.
It's funny.
Lucky you just cast him right into that role.
The other day.
Yeah. Oh, glad to help.
So, Mrs. Anderson, we want to clear this up. So, we had a discussion a few years ago. Remember, you were having dinner at my mom's house, and you'd mentioned something about the play and about how the casting went. I don't remember exactly how that conversation went, but Sean seems to think that the only reason that you gave me a part in the play was because I cried like a little bitch, is what he said.
No, you didn't. You were disappointed that you didn't get the part of the giant.
Well,
but then I reminded you that you played the role of God when we had a little ceremony for Well, and I said you couldn't get a role any higher than that, so that seemed to appease you.
So you wait. I'm sorry. I'm going to intertwine. I don't know. I know Mike and Sean, but I didn't go to the school they went to. You didn't teach me. My name's Mike as well. I'm just going to say. So you were trying to appease Mike because he didn't get the role he wanted, correct?
Yes.
And then to confirm, you gave him a role called God.
Mike always reached for the stars. He didn't like to be left in the cold.
Yes.
He wanted to be the giant.
And I actually wanted to be Jack, I remember. But remember, you picked the names out of a hat, and
yes.
Saul got the part. But then you just gave Sean the part of the giant.
Why was that? Why did I get the part of the giant?
Why'd you give Sean the part of the giant?
Well, I can't remember. Didn't I draw his name? All the names were drawn from my hat.
No, I don't. Sean's. I don't know if maybe. I don't think so. I don't remember that. But remember, but you gave me a part. You made a role for me in the Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yes,
you
were the messenger at the end.
Yes. And Sean seems to think that was a pity role that you just threw me because you felt bad for me. But my contention was, I always understood that you thought I had so much potential and that I needed the spotlight shone on me because I was a star.
First of all,
well, you still are.
Miss Anderson, before you answer, we just confirmed 2 minutes ago that she created the role for you because you were upset.
That's Miss Anderson's sense of humor. You don't know her sense of humor. You don't know her as well as I do.
But okay, let me clarify something though.
Okay,
okay,
please
listen up.
Okay.
This is fantastic.
This is exactly like grade 3. It's
no. Truth be told, the whole class collaborated on the script. Like, we wrote the script as a class, and we incorporated a group of girls who were taking dance lessons, and they'd come and borrow the tape recorder so they can practice a little routine. And when we were putting the script together, I said, why don't we put something in there, because they were working so hard on their little routine. I said, let's incorporate that into the script.
Yeah.
So we just kept incorporating things, and then we thought it should have a funny ending, and so it was all very well thought out.
It was, but it wasn't because you just like were like. I always thought like you gave me that part because you were like, I can't not have this kid in the play, but there's no parts for him. So we needed to create a part to make sure that he gets in the play so that everyone could see.
Mikey, don't try to sell it. She's already confirmed that she gave it to you.
No,
I just want to say something here quickly. Let her respond, this whole thing started a couple of years ago with Annunziata answering the door, telling me that the play was rigged and I didn't deserve the role. That's how all of this started.
Oh my God!
And what he has
Shameful,
told you up
Michael.
to this point, I'm not sure, but that is how this whole thing has started. And I haven't been bothered by any of it whatsoever. He's been really upset about me being the role of the giant, and it's been haunting him for years. And that's where we've come to today.
That was all. I wanted to be a lead, Mrs. Anderson. I think that I could have done well in the lead part, but.
Yeah, you could have, but we needed to share some of the wealth, right?
I agree. I know. And I think part of your motivation for giving Sean that part of the giant was because Sean's just got so much energy and he needs to, he needs an outlet. You know what I mean? Otherwise, this kid's just a problem. So
I'm a problem.
He was a bit of a problem, wasn't
he? You know what happened, actually? It worked out well. Sean at that time was a little bit shy.
Oh, was he shy?
Things have changed.
Yeah, you were a little bit shy at that time, and I remember you had gone out for recess, and you came back in, and you were excited because all the kids were coming up to you and asking you to say that fee, fi, fo, fummy.
Oh, he literally said that before we got on the phone with you.
Yeah, so I thought, that worked out well, and it worked out well for Michael. He got a more diminished role than God, but hey.
So Miss Anderson, part of the segment we do with Angels in Our Town, we have it's like you ever watch Family Feud?
Oh, yes.
So we do like a little rapid fire. We got 5 questions. If you don't want to play the game, that's cool.
They're all grade 5 and under, Miss Anderson, trust me.
They're like general knowledge, like trivia.
The last guy, the butcher, he was perfect.
Yeah, he got them all.
And he was very worried ahead of time, trust me.
We got 35 seconds on the clock. We're going to ask you like 5 quick questions.
Mike's on the clock.
Okay, let me check the clock here. 1 second.
Yeah, he's going to get the clock ready. I'll be reading the questions. Usually it's me reading the questions that slows down the game. You give your answer. And you know what, Sal? We got Sean in here. Try to remember her answer she gives.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
As long as I don't have physics or math.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, ready?
You're good.
And time.
The first Thanksgiving was celebrated by Native Americans and what other group of people?
Pass.
How many letters are in the English alphabet?
32.
What is the closest planet to the sun?
Mercury.
Very good. What is the main language spoken in the Canadian province of Quebec?
French.
How long does the Earth take to revolve once around the sun?
365 days.
Okay, good. We're in time. So your first answer, the question was, the first Thanksgiving was celebrated by Native Americans and what other group of people? The answer was Pilgrims. You passed.
Oh, yeah. I don't think she heard that. I don't think she heard the question.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
So but is that on the American side? I thought you were going to go with the Canadian.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
You know what? Yeah, you tripped her up on that. It was a bit of a trick question, Mike.
Yeah, because I would have, if I had known you were referring to the U.S., I knew Pilgrims, but I wasn't quite sure.
Okay, that's
side.
fair.
Right,
so
that's
we're not going to hold that against you then.
Yeah.
Okay.
the French. That would make
what
sense.
about the others?
Okay, so how many letters are in the English alphabet? The answer, you gave 32, I believe?
32 is the answer.
The answer is 26.
26.
We did.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of how many teeth we have.
Oh, that's okay. That's really sweet. I was going to say...
She's chomping on the alphabet.
Right. Yeah.
Honestly, my poor brain.
You thought these were...
No, you're right. It's 26.
You thought these were harder than they actually
Yeah, they were very simple.
Yeah.
The first one was a little bit twisty now that she mentioned that, but yes. So the next one, what was the closest planet to the sun? Mercury, which you got correct.
She got that. I didn't want to got that.
What is the main language spoken in Canada, or the Canadian province, Quebec? You said French. That is correct. Right. And then how long does the Earth take to revolve once around the sun? 365 365 days. Ding, ding, ding. You are correct.
Yeah, that's
I'd
good.
like to throw in a bonus question here for you. Do you remember what the acronym was that you taught us for remembering the planets?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh.
Oh, I do not.
Do you, Sean?
Remind me.
I do. And the last one I believe is exempt now because it's changed. But
Pluto.
it was my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas.
I don't remember that.
Look at what the stamp you left on these guys' lives.
Me?
I believe it
Are
was.
you sure that was me?
I believe it was.
Sean's memory is really good up until about grade
John, I'm
grade
so
8.
impressed.
It's so
I'm
strange.
So impressed.
I'm going to college for the 3rd time.
Well, take the 26 letters of the alphabet with you.
I will.
Well,
And the pilgrims, apparently.
Yeah.
3 for 5 is good. I'm gonna say, Mrs. Anderson, we're gonna.
I'm going to give her 4 for 5 because the first one was
I
kind
agree.
of screwball. It was a
4
little
to
more
5.
American.
But just before we let you go, Mrs. Anderson, we just want to clear. Let's clear this up. Let's reiterate this again.
Oh, buddy, we already did this.
You. I didn't cry like a little bitch. Did I cry like a little bitch, Miss? Do you remember that?
No, never.
No, but you did give him the role because he was upset, correct?
No.
No, not really. We worked everything out. No. That's not the way I remember it at all. I didn't pity him at all.
So now this argument will go on for another 30 years.
Okay, hold on.
He just cleared it up.
No. There's
cleared
one
it
last
up.
point that needs to be cleared up. Did myself getting the role of the giant, was that rigged in any way possible?
Not that I recall. It could have been. You
Wonderful.
know, like we'll
That
just have
clears it all up
to. We'll
there.
just have to let that one hang over our heads.
We'll let that one.
We'll let it go for the
eternity.
next
Well,
one.
maybe let that one hang. But Sean,
That'll plague us until eternity, won't it?
but my contention is still that Sean was great in the role as the giant. I never said that he shouldn't have been in that role. I still think Saul should have been cast somewhere else.
Poor guy's not here to defend himself.
No, but I think there's better people to play Jack. That's all. But it was fair. She did it.
I believe
Mrs.
Miss Anderson taught you
did
better
it the
than
fair
that.
way.
Annunziata.
She did a good job. Thank you, Miss
Best-
Anderson, for being an angel in our town.
Try to be fair. Try to be fair.
Yeah. Thank you
Guys,
so much.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mrs. Anderson. Thanks for being an
Okay,
angel.
take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you. Nice
Bye,
talking to you.
bye.
But,
Bye.
wow, Anuns.
So I think we cleared that up a little
Yeah,
bit.
except for your
I don't know. I think she kind of backpedaled on the end there. I'm positive.
Sure that his last comment right now towards Saul nailed the fucking coffin there, door closed.
I would like to say thank you, Miss Anderson. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
And you confirmed earlier in the conversation, and then Mike swayed you at the end.
I don't know, buddy. You
Coached.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Anyways, thank you, Miss Anderson, for being an angel in our town.
The mailman himself will deliver it to you.
Yeah, with God's voice.
What am I, typecast now? Like I'm a mailman for the rest of my life because I was a mailman in the grade
Correct.
3?
That
I
was
did
the
bring it
role
home.
you created for yourself.
It was pretty impactful.
The role you created for yourself so you could be in the play.
I think it culturally. I didn't create the role.
Oh my God. Okay, we're.
We'll all see you later on.
Okay.
Thank you and good night.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
That was fun.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on,
Godspeed.
Sean. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Sean.
Hey, thanks for having me. Godspeed. Godspeed.
I like your name a lot.